Happy Earth Day! Welcome, thanks for joining me. What we've got going on is we're going to be using a stability ball to represent the Earth today. So it's actually the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, but we'll get into that in just a second. So you're going to need a stability ball today. That's the only major requirement. We'll have also available a band for another couple exercises, but you don't have to have the band. I'll give you an alternate if you don't have one, okay? So you must have a stability ball, so if you don't have one, this may not be the best workout for you, but if you've got one, we'll get started. We're going to jump into our warm-up. Let's just do a little jog to get things started here, okay? So I want you to jog at your own pace. You can also do a march as a lower impact option. So Earth Day started in 1970, and this was really the birth of the environmental movement. And the goal is to steward the area around us. Take care of our planet, our cities, our countryside, and really the earth as a whole. Protect it and really just be good caretakers of what we've been given. Now, our exercises today, let's get some jumping jacks. Our exercise today will be involving a stability ball, so you can imagine that the earth in many ways is going to be supporting you and helping you and being an encourager for you in your exercises, okay? So 50 years of Earth Days, so every April 22nd we get to celebrate this day. Also happens to be my little sister's birthday, which is very exciting. So we call it Earth Day in my house. Which is pretty fun. But our goal today is going to be to do 10 different sets, and we're going to have 2 exercises in each of those sets. Let's go ahead and do a tap back and a reach up for our warm-up. Okay, so we've got a total of 20 exercises, but we're only going to be taking them on 2 at a time. All right, so it's relatively manageable, shouldn't be too bad. And each set is going to last us 4 minutes. So we'll be going back and forth between those exercises for 4 minutes, and that includes a brief explanation time as well. For our warm-up, let's kick back and crisscross. So we're going to finish up our warm-up. We've got a couple more exercises to do there, and then we're going to jump right in. Are you pumped? I'm super pumped. I've even got some special earth facts for you today to help grow your brain as we work on growing your muscles. Whew, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time today. I'm excited. I must say, I am very thankful for the planet that we have. The earth, the animals, the trees, the birds, the water, the air, even the volcanoes and the tornadoes and the snow. I'm thankful for all of it. So we're doing a step to the side, so you're stepping 1 foot to the side, sinking down in, and then stepping back to the center. So it's like a half squat on one side and a straight leg on the other side. So a big stretch on some of the groin and inner thigh muscles on that one. Okay, we're going to shift into a Frankenstein step for our warm-up. This is our last piece of the warm-up, and then we're diving in to the Earth Day workout. Man, am I pumped! Because Earth Day, there's a lot to be thankful for, a lot to celebrate. Okay, this one you can go a little faster. Just try not to bend to the lower back on this one. Try not to bend forward. Stay tall as you're bringing these legs up. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You ready? Time for our first one. First one is the stability ball push-up, and that's paired up with high knees. So I'll show you high knees. Looks like this. When you're doing high knees, it's going to be 20 is your number. And that's paired up with push-ups, which is 10. So I'm going to get us started right away. We're going to hop right in. So for the push-up, you're going to lay on the stability ball. Okay, you're going to roll out a little bit till you find a level of challenge that is good for you. And then you're going to do a push-up. So you need less challenge, roll not as far forward. For me personally, I'm actually going to move my stability ball back a little bit so I can roll forward a little bit further. Okay, so for me, maybe further out here might be a better way to go. Or if I'm feeling particularly crazy, I could go out here with feet on the stability ball, right? So for me, this may be a better level challenge. You're working on 10 push-ups. Okay, beautiful. Keeping that chest out, head high.
Okay, now we're moving into 20 high knees. You can also do that as a run as well if you need to make that tougher. All right, back into the push-up. Okay, and we won't be needing our band for a little bit, so I'm just going to toss that to the side. All right. Woo-hoo. So again, find the level of challenge that's going to work best for you. You're going to notice that I keep my chest out, I keep my abs tight as I'm going, okay? So on your push-up, try not to round in or lean in. Stay very, very upright as you go. All right, there's 20. Our fact, I'm going to tell you on this one, the continent of Asia makes up 30% of the land mass of the world, but contains 60% of the world's human population. Think about that for a second. In 30% of the area, you got 60% of the people. It's twice as much as you'd expect. It's crazy. Whew. Obviously that's helped along by the two most densely and largest populated countries, India and China. But they bring a lot of people to the table. I think combined, close to 2.4, 2.5 billion, something like that. Wild, that's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. Good. How are we doing on time? Time enough just for a couple more push-ups. Again, if you need it to be easier, you just roll your body back a little bit and you do a little easier on those push-ups. If you want to make that tougher, you roll your body further forward and that'll add some challenge for you. All right, there's our timer. We're going to move on. Next one we have is the stability ball booty bridge. So you're going to have a seat on your stability ball. This one's paired up with jumping jacks, by the way, so if you happen to get down ahead of me, 20 jumping jacks. So the booty bridge, we roll out a little bit. Make sure you get your head on your stability ball, so don't have the head hanging off. So get some support for the head and neck. We're going to squeeze our hips up and then lower down. 2, 3, we're going to 10 on this one. And really driving through the heels, flexing in the glutes as you do that one. So there's 10. Whew, and I'm into jumping jacks. Make sure you're very aware of your space as you're going. Don't let that stability ball sneak up on you or trip you up. All right. Back into the booty bridge. Rolling out. Make sure you get your head stabilized well. There we go. Lowering down. And you can even lift the toes up if you want. Make that a little tougher on the glutes. Now, we were just talking about population of people. How many people do you think there are living on our planet right now? Obviously, that number changes by the minute with births and deaths, but approximately, what's your guess? Have you guessed yet? Say it out loud. All right, good. So, I can remember back when I was younger, I used to get Time magazine for kids. It's like my favorite part of the month. Super exciting. I had a whole stack of them, collected them, right? I remember one came in. It was a very special one. 6 billion was the number on the cover. I couldn't even imagine that number. I'd never heard that number in my life before. And that was the amount of people in the world at the time. Now, we are up to a staggering 7.6 billion. Just about. We're just shy of that number, but just about 7.6 billion people. That's a lot. Right? It's 1.6 billion more than when I was a preteen. That's a lot. All right. Jumping jacks. I'll be curious to see what it's at when my daughter's a teenager. What it's like when she has kids. That'll be something. 8 billion, 9 billion, 10 billion. We're going to drop down to 1 billion? Who knows? Who knows? How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing great. 30 seconds left, my friends. 30 seconds left. Keep up that great work. It's okay if your timing is a little bit different than mine. Now, if you're working with a partner, you're welcome to alternate between these two exercises. This workout was actually designed to be done with a partner. I just switched it so you could do it by yourself, and so I could do it by myself as I'm showing you. All right, there's that one. Thank you, Mother Earth. Whew. On to our next exercise, the stability ball, pass, and tap. Now this one is going to be a little bit of a challenge for you because we're going to be doing this one for the duration of the 4 minutes. Okay, you're going to grab onto the ball with your feet. Let me see if I can get into a spot where I've got the most room available. Got your legs up. You're going to pass your hands, reach overhead, tap, squeeze up, past your feet, and tap. Okay? Okay, just like that. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Be very gentle. Be gentle with your earth. Treat it nicely. Treat it the way you want to be treated. Now, if you have a partner, what you could do is you could pass it off to your partner and take a little rest break while they do it. If not, just keep passing back and forth to yourself. Over and over again. We having fun yet? Oh, man. Whew. I would say, that's something I want to tell you. What did I want to tell you? Oh, this one you may not actually know. The Earth is the most dense planet in our solar system. That's a crazy little fact. The densest, right? You know why? Because of all the people, right? We got thick skulls. I'm just kidding, that's not why. The reason we have the densest planet in the solar system actually has to do with the core of our planet, which is made up of a combination of nickel and iron, almost entirely. Okay, so it's 88% iron. Okay, now think of anything you've ever gotten that's iron, right? An iron fence. Okay, think of anything you've had to move that's made out of cast iron, right? Whenever you say cast iron and you're helping a friend move, leave, right? Just go away. Just say, you know what? I've actually got other stuff to do, right? My brother and sister-in-law helped a friend move, and they helped them move a cast iron safe. A safe, okay? And this isn't like some little safe that you just put a couple files in. This is one of those safes you can put a body in, right? This thing's gigantic. And they said it weighed over 600 pounds trying to move this thing up and down the stairs. On this one, take breaks as you need it, okay? So I'm taking breaks to breathe as I can. Oh man, I'm definitely feeling, ab work. Definitely getting a little toasty on this one. Anyways, they're moving that 600 pounds safe. Oh, you can imagine. Not easy. At one point, it ends up slipping a little bit. One of them gets slightly caught underneath it. It wasn't my brother or sister-in-law. It was their friend. And so they sent my sister-in-law to scamper across it, adding more weight to it on their dear friend. And she had to get underneath it a little bit to get the friend some leverage to get that off. Thankfully, no major injuries, but oh man. Not easy. All that to say, iron's heavy, right? And we've got a lot of heavy stuff in the center of our planet, which makes us the densest in the solar system. Oh man, it's 4 minutes never ends. 4 minutes straight of abs. Who came up with this? Oh man. Oh, there we go. We made it. Holy smokes. All right, moving on to our next one. This one we've got the Stability Ball Atlas Squat, okay? So Atlas Squat is going to be paired up with punches, okay? So punches, you'll go without your stability ball. You'll punch 30 times, counting one side. Atlas Squat with Mother Earth right here. We got our feet wide. Keep the earth above your head. Try and keep your arms straight. I'll show you guys a side view right here. So I'm going to try and keep my arms as straight as I can. And then I'm going to lower down. There's one. I'm going to come back up. And 2. 15 is your number on this one. 3. Oh man. All right, punch in the air now. I'm gonna move my timer. That way it's not slapping me. Whew. 10, 11, 12, 13. I was counting one fist. And 30. All right, back to the overhead squat. Reaching, and down we go. Now Atlas, the reason we call it the Atlas squat. Atlas was said to be the Greek god or hero, I'm not exactly sure which, that was in charge of holding the earth up. Right? Took the earth literally on his shoulders. Now, something you may not know is that right at this very second, you are hurtling through space at 67,000 miles per hour. That's crazy. But that is how fast the Earth moves around the sun, right? So our little planet is a real mover and shaker. I'll tell you what. Okay? And think about that, right? 67,000 miles, 67,000, right? You look at how long like a long road trip is, right? You know, you want to take 5 or 6 hours out of your day, 200, 300, 400 miles, something like that, right? 67,000 miles in an hour that we are going. And you think about doing that 365 days in a row, 24 hours a day, it's a lot of miles. This Earth puts a lot of miles on it. It's a remarkable condition considering the mileage. Okay, now with the feet, try not to go too wide as you're going, and also don't go too narrow either. Make sure you find that happy medium on the squats. Oh, beautiful. There we go. Moving on to our next one. We got the stability ball field goal reach, and that one is paired up with mountain climbers. Okay, so I'll show mountain climbers really quick. Okay, it looks like this. Count one side up to 20, and now I'll show the field goal squeeze and reach. You have your feet back behind you. I do recommend having a wide stance. You can have your arms up here, field goal squeeze, and then reach out and squeeze back. There's two. Nice and steady on this one. This one's not about speed. 4. Oh boy, here's 17. Oh man, I'm getting warm. 18, 19, 20. Oh man, that's a spicy meatball. That's a spicy one. Whew. And then we're moving into, oh man, mountain climbers. Now, little known fact about our little planet. Actually, probably not little known, it's probably very common knowledge. Oh, there goes my stability ball. Come back, Mother Earth. 97% of the water on Earth is salt water. Think about that. Think about taking a big swig of salt water. Nasty. 97% of the water on Earth is salt water. First of all, think about how much salt that is. Ooh, man. And then think about how lucky we are to have any fresh water. 2% of that fresh water is locked up as ice. Okay, 2% of our fresh water is ice. That means 1% of the water on planet Earth is available to us in the form of lakes, streams, and underground non-salt water. That's crazy. Just crazy. Take care of that 1%. I'm telling you what, take care of that 1%. Take little breaks as you need it. Today's not an easy day, I'll tell you what. Oh man, I'm feeling the burn. Oh, I think that's 20. Oh, I was telling a story, so I lost count. Oh man, thanks for visiting back, Mother Earth. Here we go. Whew. When astronauts first looked at the Earth from space, they called it the blue planet, because it had so much water, so much blue. See, about 70, something close to that, 70% of the Earth's surface is covered in water, and the vast majority of that we just learned is salt water. So you can see why they would call it a blue planet. It has lots and lots of blue to it. Next, we're working on stability ball crunches. We're going to do 20 of those, and that's paired up with squat kicks. Okay, so I'll show you those really quick. All right, so we have our stability ball crunch. We're going to get centered here. Roll this forward a little bit, lean back, chest out, and small little squeezes. 1, 2, 3. And 20. Okay, then we got 10 squat kicks. We'll count every kick, all right? So we squat and kick. Don't worry about going down super deep. Just a little bit's good. Looking great. There's 10. Oh, man. So, the Earth at the equator is 24,000 miles around. 24,000 miles around. So, think about it this way. Every hour, we move that width, right, that entire circumference of the Earth. We move that. Oh, man. Almost 3 times in 1 hour. If you were to stretch that out, right? Almost 3 times that through space in an hour. Now, 24,000 miles is a lot. It's a lot, right? A trip. Oh, we're not doing jumping jacks. I'm getting all kinds of confused. We're doing squats. A trip of a couple hundred miles, maybe 1,000 miles, right? That's a big trip. That's a long trip. That's not something to sneeze at, right? 24,000 miles, long way. Let's put it in your everyday perspective, right? Experts say to aim for 10,000 steps in a day, right? Let's say you're an overachiever. Let's say you're hitting 20,000 a day, right? Because you got purpose. You're going to walk all the way around the Earth. 20,000 steps in a day, that would get you about 10 miles, okay? 10 miles a day. You know how long it would take you? Assuming that there was some special bridge that went all the way around the Earth. You know how long it would take you? 6.8 years. 6.8 years traveling 10 miles a day to get around the Earth, right? Obviously that's walking. We're slow at walking. Okay, we've got all kinds of cool stuff that can get us around. We got planes, trains, automobiles, boats, all that good stuff. Whew. But think about that next time you're on a plane. You had to walk that distance, it would take you a mighty long time. Whew. As you're doing this one, make sure you're not hinging at the hips on this one. Okay, it's really about bringing the ribs towards the abs. Ribs towards the abs. Oh, it doesn't have to be a big movement to get it going good. Okay, so double check. Make sure you're not just rolling in the hips on this one. Your hips are actually staying exactly where they are, and you're moving just in that midsection. Whew. Oh man, it's great. Whew. I love Mother Earth. Whew. Oh man, happy Earth Day right now. So that was what, set number 6? We're killing it. We're on set 7 now. Set 7. Set 7 is not easy. Okay, you're gonna have your stability ball. I'm gonna set that decently far out. I'm gonna dig my heels in on top of it, okay? So I'm digging my heels in on top of it. For those that are maybe feeling less stable, try and get a little bit more of your legs pushing in on it too. I recommend having your arms down to your sides at about 45 degrees, okay? Next, I'm gonna push my hips up and I'm gonna pull that stability ball in and back. We're doing 10 of these. Stability ball, hamstring curl. There's 2, here's 3, here's 4, here's 5, here's 6. I do recommend slower will give you more stability. The faster you go, the harder it is to remain stable on the stability ball. So slower will get you more stable. Okay, so that was hamstring curl, and then we've got that paired up with a Frankenstein. Okay, we're bringing the leg up. There's 1, 2, and 2. Okay, so it's Frankenstein on that one. All right, let's talk about height. The highest height in the world, the tallest point on Earth, reaches 29,000 feet in the air. And you know what that is, right? It's Mount Everest. Whew. That's tall, right? That's what? If we're doing 5,280, right? That's quick math. A little bit shy of 6 miles. 6 miles. Straight up into the sky. That's big. That's very, very, very big, my friends. Whew. Oh man. Now there's a volcano out in, I think, the Pacific area that is the tallest peak, okay? But it doesn't reach the highest height above sea level, okay? Because a significant portion of this volcano is below sea level. For those that may not know, a lot of islands, particularly in the Pacific, are made by basically a little split in the crust. And that split in the crust actually shifts a little bit over time. And so if you ever looked at maybe like the Hawaiian Islands as an example, there's that little split in the crust and it kind of moves over time. And over time, that split in the crust just keeps letting out lava. We have these volcanoes, right? So those volcanoes eventually turn into islands, and then they go dormant once that crust has moved on and becomes just this big chunk of land, which is pretty interesting, pretty fascinating. What we were doing, we were hamstrings, doing Frankenstein. All right, staying tall, staying tall. If you need to go faster, kick up that heart rate a little bit. But the volcano I was just talking about, I don't remember the name, so I'm not going to say it. But it is 13,000 feet above sea level, right? 13,000 versus 29,000, right? Everest versus this volcano. However, this volcano, if you were to take it all the way down to where it actually starts at the ocean floor, right? It would be, I think, 56,000 feet, something like that. Huge, enormous, massive, right? Makes Everest look real dinky in comparison, right? So our biggest mountain, our biggest peak, technically starts in an ocean, turns into an island volcano. Okay, pretty interesting to know. Okay, a little factoid for you. All right, moving on from the hamstring curl. Next one up, we've got the seated row. This is the one where you are going to need a band. So if you do not have a band, I would recommend you do the field goal squeeze and reach instead. We'll just redo that one. If you do have a band, you're going to have your feet out in front. We're going to cross the band over the feet. You're going to stand up tall. You're going to squeeze towards you in the upper back and come back down. I do recommend pointing your toes away from you on this one. If you pull your toes too far back, that band may pay you a visit. I know you don't want that. We're looking at 15 on this row. There we go, there's 15. And that's paired up with fast feet. Okay, fast feet look like this. We have our feet on either side. We go in, out, in, out, looking just like this. Okay, for fast feet, let's get 20. And then we'll go back to the 15 on the seated row. Whew. Man, is it hot in here? Just me. Eh, you're hot too? Okay. A little sweat, a lot of sweat. No sweat, no sweat. Whew. Easy, easy, easy. All right, let's talk about the deepest place on Earth. You ready? Deepest place on Earth is the Mariana Trench. Whew. Remarkably deep. I want to make sure I quote the right number to you. It is... Is that a 3 or an 8? Oh no, I don't know. I think it's 35,000 feet below sea level. That sounds about right. No, I think that might be an 8. That might be an 8, friends. Because doing the quick math, right, that volcano I was talking about is 56,000 and 13,000 of it is above the water. That would make it 43,000 feet below that, and it's not at the deepest point in the ocean. So I think 85,000 is right. Whew, you could stack 3 Everests in there. That's a long ways. Keep that chest out. Really squeeze in that upper back. Whew. All right, into fast feet. Whew. Now, that trench is a little bit inhospitable. I believe it's actually underneath Antarctica. Okay, so it's not exactly accessible. Okay, but it's deep. It's a long ways away, and it's got a whole bunch of ice above it too. But yeah, 85,000 feet. I'm gonna look at this number. I'm gonna make sure. Oh no. All right, one of my numbers is off then. The number does say 35,000. All right, it's 35,000. I have verified my number. I need to work on my handwriting. That's what we learned here today, friends. Handwriting is important. All you school teachers out there, you heard it. A professional just said handwriting is important. Up tall and squeeze. It'll keep you from looking silly on camera. But that's fine. I look silly everything I do. Okay, rowing's done, which is sad because I really liked that one. All right, Mother Earth, what do we got coming next? See to row, that was number 8. We got number 9, number 10, then we're done. Number 9, my friends, is the groininator. Woo! Prepare yourselves. Okay, this one you're going to start off with a semi-squat. Bring your stability ball right in front of you, lower down, grab onto the stability ball, and push your hips forward, okay? So I'm going to try and bring my knees back just a little bit, just like that. So I'm going to squeeze my knees in. 1, 2, 3. So I'm squeezing with my groin muscles as I grab on to the stability ball, okay? Not an easy one. Looks super awkward, but I promise these are just muscles that you're working. It's not that big a deal. It's just some thigh muscles. That's it. Think of this as modern day thigh master. Whew. Grown man doing a thigh master. Nothing to see here. 15 is our number there. And then we're moving into tricep push-ups, okay? Now I'm going to show you the front view just so you can get an idea. Okay, I'm going to go from knees as well. So I've got my hands super close. Normally on a push-up, you'd go wide. This one we're going super close, okay, about body width. Then you're going to push your weight forward, tuck your elbows in, and then lower down and push back up, okay? Keeping the elbows snug to the body as you go. Imagine like you're dragging them along your ribs like a xylophone. Okay, you notice I'm going pretty deep. You don't have to go that deep. Even right there is pretty good for a tricep push-up. Okay, it's not an easy exercise by any means. Okay, I'll show you front view on groinator. Okay, got your stability ball here. Biggest mistake I see most people do is they lower down and they push themselves too far forward and they end up falling off. Okay, so set yourself up where the stability ball is a little bit in front of you. Grab on a little bit behind center. And then shift forward. Okay, so now I'm centered on the ball, nice and stable, and I squeeze in. There's one, and make sure your thighs aren't sticking. Those that have yoga pants on, congratulations. That's really paying off for you right now. 6, staring at a camera, doing the groininator. Man, I don't even know what number I'm on. Let's just keep going. Why not? Why not? Do more. Why not? Do more. Oof, okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. That's enough groinator. Okay, tricep push-up. Back into that. Okay. Elbows tucked way in. Dropping those hips forward. Down and up. Ten's our number here. 10's our number. I lost count. That's sad. Let's do one more. Oh, man. And then back to 15 on the groinator. Here's one more, 14, and one more makes, 15. Oh, man. How are we doing on time? 15 seconds left. Oh, man. All right, where's my other, oh, tricep. Oh man, how quickly I forget. Whew. Heading into our last one. This is it, gang. Stability ball around the world. Okay, we're gonna go into a squat. Arms here, and then we're going to go around the world. However, I'm going to start a timer for 30 seconds that we're going to hold that squat for. Okay, this is rough on the shoulders. Just go without, hold squat, that's fine. But you want to do something a little different. Go around the world. See how far you can keep that globe out away from you. You can change directions. Oh. And then we get a 30-second rest. That's not a bad deal, huh? Oh. All right, fun little fact about our planet. Out in Utah, there is a gigantic organism considered the largest organism, single organism on the planet. It's called Pando. It is a particular tree system, root system that has a bunch of trees, sprouts growing out of it, okay? This tree system is estimated to be, I think, 6,600 American tons. 6,600, right? Obviously they can't quite measure it, okay? They think it's about 80,000 years old, but there's some estimates that put it in 1,000,000 years old. Okay, now this tree system, every tree sprouting up out of the ground in this 106-acre area is genetically identical. Fascinating, right? Imagine a whole forest all around you. You look at a tree, you look, there's a tree. Some trees are bigger, some are smaller. Every single tree is genetically identical. Really interesting about these trees. Now they find that trees like this thrive really well in environments that have regular forest fires. Okay, so this is out in the Midwest, out in Utah, and an area in a lot of ways known for wildfires and brush fires. Right, a little more of an alpine type feel, a little drier, more arid of a climate. And forest fires out there absolutely level a forest. But it's great because it brings a lot of nutrients back into the soil. Now these tree systems thrive in environments like that, particularly when there is a burn, because that burn levels out the playing field, and this tree system already has a strong root system in place. And so that strong root system then sends up these little shoots. I forget exactly what they call them, it's something special. But we would look at it and call it a tree. They send up these trees to take the place of what was there before. And so eventually, with enough fires, some root system like this can expand and expand and expand in such a way that it becomes the largest single organism on Earth. One tree, 106 acres. That's crazy. That's huge. Pando, out in Utah, look it up. Oh man, there's probably a whole documentary about it on Netflix, I'm sure of it. I'm gonna go home and look for it. Oh, baby, squatting around the world. Squatting around the world. Ooh, oh, how much more time we got? Oh, not much. Oh, you were gonna say blue whale though. When you were thinking largest organism, you were like, blue whale, totally. Largest mammal, largest organism, Pando. Go ahead, win a Jeopardy show on that one. You can thank me. All right, gang, that was the workout portion. Now, let's head into the stretch section, all right? Make sure you give Mother Earth nice big kiss. Thank you. Thank you, Mother Earth, for all the good you have done for us today. All right, I'm gonna set my timer and we're gonna get into our stretches. Thanks for hanging with me on this one, gang. That was not an easy workout, but we did it. We did it together. All right, one leg out straight. We'll grab another leg at the knee. and pull in towards you. The first paper I ever wrote was titled All About Lions. It's everything in the world there was to know. It's about 3 paragraphs long, everything you need to know about lions. Whew. But I've been a nature junkie for a long time. I love watching documentaries, watching animals, learning about plants, learning about the ocean. It's just fascinating stuff. Truly, truly a fascinating world that we live in. And even still, there's so much that we don't know, so much that we're finding out, and so much that we're exploring. And there's so much more that we could do. There's so much more that we could do to be helpful, to be of use, and to make sure our refuse does not become an issue, right? Your garbage, pollution, all of that. We all have waste that we create by being alive. And in our modern era, that waste sometimes can be quite a bit. So make sure you're doing whatever you can, at the very least try and minimize, as opposed to maximizing the amount of waste you create in your life. Try and recycle where possible, reuse stuff if you can. Goes a long way. Go ahead, change sides. Working on a glute stretch right now. So at the making of this video, it is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day 2020. Started in 1970. It's a huge deal. That is a huge deal, the amount of attention and focus that has gone into protecting and stewarding this wonderful blue orb that we all get to live on. Let's do a tricep stretch, arm overhead. Now you're feeling dizzy, take a second. Either sit back down or lay back down, let your blood get back to normal, blood come back to your head. But if you're doing just fine, stand tall, bring that elbow nice and high. You can even do a little tip off to the side. Okay, we'll change sides. And we'll tip off to the side. Nice big stretch. Breathing in. Bring that out. All right. There's that one. Let's move into a hamstring stretch. Dig your heel in. Tip forward. Nice big stretch. Okay, make sure your hips go nice and far back. Your back stays as straight as you can. Now that was the largest single organism that I mentioned, Pando. The largest living structure is actually a coral reef. Okay, so there's the Great Barrier Reef, which is gigantic. But a reef is made up of a bunch of these tiny little organisms that basically they're called polyps. They eat stuff out of the water, and over time, they create this solid shell, solid encasing, right? And if you've ever looked at a piece of coral, you'll notice there's a whole bunch of holes or little dots in it. It looks like it's kind of porous or something. Okay, those little dots are actually where the polyps pop out and eat stuff, okay? So those polyps leave this residue and they build this structure around them. And so that's what all the different types of coral are. Right? If you've ever seen a diver on a reef, you'll see all sorts of different colors and shapes and variations of these different types of coral. And there's all kinds. It's absolutely beautiful, absolutely incredible, and each one's a different species. Okay, it's its own little animal, which is really, really fascinating. Watch a documentary. There's one type of coral, which is actually a little bit gross, but what it does basically is this coral kind of like turns itself inside out, and then like the insides of it go and find other pieces of coral and basically like suck the life out of it and the pieces of coral come back in. So basically like stops the coral nearby from growing into its space. That way you can keep growing and expanding. Pretty interesting. We'll do a quad stretch right here. Lifting that heel up, big stretch in the quad. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Whew. Just watched Finding Nemo with my daughter. I don't know if she really absorbed much of it. She's a little over 1.5 years. Oh my goodness, absolutely adorable. I enjoyed it again though. It was good. Whew. That movie though is 17 years old. It came out in 2003. That's wild. That's wild. I'm not that old yet. Whew. Nice big stretch, nice big stretch. Oof, big stretch, big stretch, big stretch. Almost there with the quad. We got 2 more stretches after this. Okay, we're going to go and do a calf stretch. I'm going to lean out off the screen a little bit here. I have a split stance, and I'm shifting my body weight forward for a big stretch in the calf. Okay, so this back leg, getting a nice big stretch down there in that calf, okay? On your stretches, I don't recommend bouncing at all, okay? Try and stay nice and static and add pressure and shift in. So try and relax. Okay, your calf is very strong, your Achilles tendon is very strong. It takes a lot of effort to stretch those areas, so make sure you're putting that effort in. Here's another interesting factoid. Coral reefs have the greatest diversity of life out of any area on the planet. Okay, rainforests are up there, very close, very, as far as types, species density, very high, but coral reefs are the highest. So the largest variety of animals happen on coral reefs, underwater, where most of us never see it. From microscopic all the way to great white sharks, all kinds of animals live around coral reefs. So much of coral reefs is actually reliant on hot and cold water coming together. When they do, it stirs up the bottom of the ocean and brings up a lot of minerals, and that then triggers more algae to grow, and that algae is then filtered and eaten and consumed by coral and other plant life. So hopefully you've learned a little bit about our Earth today. Hopefully you're excited and as pumped up about the awesome, awesome place that we get to live and spend our days. So I hope you have enjoyed this 50th anniversary workout of Earth Day. Have an awesome day.